Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Me's My Passion, YouTube's premier channel about all things women's football. And the finals of the FIFA Women's World Cup is finally locked in, as it is going to be none other than Spain taking on, unfortunately, not the co-hosts of the tournament this year, but the three Lionesses of England here, as we had a very fantastic match of Australia versus England here. And this is what we learned from the match today here, as Australia was lined up in a 4-4-2 formation, England lined up in a 3-4-1-2 formation. And at the very beginning of this match was very even Stevens, very evenly balanced, as neither team would really get a foot ahead of the other here. That was up until the 36th minute, where England, who had been dominating the game in terms of possession and attack opportunities, finally made good on those two factors here, as Russo would cut the ball back for a tune to get the ball into the top one and give England the 1-0 lead going into the second half of the match here. And pretty much the second half here was going to be a belter of a half of football here, as both teams were going at it. England, of course, trying to find the killer goal to guarantee their spot in the finals, and Australia obviously chasing the game with the likes of Sam Kerr, who was starting for the first time in this tournament, looking to get their teams back on level footing here, which she managed to eventually do, as the captain stepped up in the 62nd minute as she went on an individual charge from the halfway line with two defenders against her. She beat both defenders and she beat the keeper with an illustrious wonder goal that is definitely going to be shown on the highlights of future Women's World Cup editions here, because it was a beautiful, magnificent, insert superlative and adjective here type of goal, because it was just wonderful. But the drama was not over here, as just 8 minutes later, the Australian hearts would break once more, as the defense would fall asleep for Lauren Hemp to come through and bundle the ball in to give the three Lionesses the lead once more here. And it was pretty much back to square one for the Matildas, who were looking for another goal to set things level and potentially take things to extra time. But unfortunately for the Matildas, they would not have the final say, as in the 85th minute, new Arsenal player Alessia Russo would cleanly finish off a 4v2 attack to give England the third goal that guaranteed their spot in the finals, where they'll meet up against Spain here. And that match is definitely bound to be a belter. Now, looking at the overall match here, it was the better team that won on this day, because England had the majority of possession and opportunities at goal, and they were just the more sharper of the two teams here. And that's not to take away from the efforts of the Matildas here, who also did show up. There were no signs of nervousness or fear in the entire team, so it was just a matter of England just being the better team on this day here. And like I've said in previous videos, when it comes to knockout tournaments, it's not about who has the better players on paper, it's about the team that shows up. And in this instance, it was England that showed up, and they've gotten themselves the result that they wanted, and they will be in the finals here. And as for the Matildas, it is unfortunately the end of what has been a very successful Women's World Cup for them, not only as a team but as a country. They should be proud of where they've come so far. Tony Gustafsson, the team that they have is pretty much one of the best all-round teams when it comes to women's football on an international stage. And on their next foray into the World Cup, they'll pretty much retain most of their squad. Yes, there'll be some players who will no longer be there for whatever reason, but they still have a very good squad that can take them so many places. And hopefully when the next World Cup comes around, the Matildas can make it to the final. Of course, that depends on the competition they'll be facing in 2027, but they should be proud of this. Yes, it is heartbreaking to not go all the way, but they've been a fantastic team to watch, and they've been a fantastic team support for the home supporters, of course. And it's just unfortunate that they weren't the ones that showed up here. And of course, for the three Lionesses, they are obviously, for the third time, I've mentioned it now in this video, going to the finals, where they'll face Spain, which is going to be a very juicy prospect of a match going into the finals here, because both teams are pretty much evenly matched. But again, it all just depends on who is going to show up on the day to make sure that they leave home with the World Cup trophy here. And those are the things that we learned from today's final semi-final match here at the Women's World Cup. Obviously, for the fourth time now, yes, I'm keeping count, England will take on Spain in the finals on Sundays, and the day before it'll be Sweden take on Australia. Two very good matches to watch. It is pretty much going to go either way for both of those matches, and it's just going to be too close to call. It's going to literally go down to the wire here, but it will definitely be guaranteed some entertaining football. And this Women's World Cup has been just fantastic from top to bottom, and we're definitely going to finish with aplomb and a flourish. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.